Hello Nidorinas and Nidorinos, and welcome to Cinnabar Island, where the Cinnabar Flare are hosting their rivals, the Lumiose Lightning, because this is the Rivalry Round. Arctazalt and Bolton starting out for the Lumiose Lightning, whereas Ninetales and Rapidash are starting out for the Flare. Now let us know in the comments below who do you think is going to win today, the Cinnabar Flare or the Lumiose Lightning. Ninetales' Drought, hidden ability, turning on that harsh sunlight to start off this battle, so if anyone goes for a Solar Beam, it will hit on the very first try. Bolton with the speed advantage goes for a Giga Drain, so it does go for a grass type move, but not that Solar Beam or Solar Blade. So Rapidash instantly losing a bit of health, but it's not very effective. Rapidash having that chance to respond. Goes for a Milk Drink, so it's going to get that health straight back now. Very early in the battle to be using health restoration, but still it was beneficial to the Cinnabar Flare. Ninetales now goes with a Pluck, so we'll be taking somebody's Leopard Berry, going for Arctazalt. Not very effective, but it will take that Leopard Berry and eat it right there in front of Arctazalt like that. Arctazalt has its opportunity to respond, surely it's not very happy having its berry taken from it. And goes with a Splash, so it's just going to splash around on the ground, clearly frustrated. Now as always, this is a 6-on-6 Metronome battle, and if we hit the 20-minute time limit, we will go into single battle overtime. Bolton, as I said, has that massive speed advantage with a speed of 121. So it goes for a double hit, continuing to target Rapidash. Rapidash's Flame Body ability will leave Bolton burned. Bolton still gets in that second kick, but Bolton will be taking damage in between turns from that Flame Body. Flower Shield now coming from Rapidash, but it does fail. Ninetales looking to back up its teammate though. Goes with the Spikes, so any Pokemon that comes out onto the field for the Lumiose Lightning now will take damage from those spikes unless it's flying or has the ability to levitate. Arctazalt goes for a Dynamic Punch. And it's also going to target Rapidash. A very good hit there. And leaving Rapidash confused. So Rapidash will hopefully be able to shake that off in between attacks. But Bolton takes damage from that burn as mentioned in between turns. Now these two teams, their rivalry spawns from the Pikachu and Charizard love that is shown in the Pokemon community. It is so large that these two teams have started to fight over which is better. Now Ninetales needs to shake off that confusion, and it does. Ninetales going with a Teeter Dance, so not only is it going to be confused, so is everybody else on the field. Now, so everyone's confused. Hopefully, for the Cinnabar Flare, this doesn't backfire because Ninetales has been confused now by its own teammate. But everyone's going to have those little chicks floating around their heads as Ninetales shakes off its confusion. It goes with a Thunderbolt, but Arctazalt's Volt Absorb, so it's just going to have its health restored thanks to the Thunderbolt there from Ninetales. And Arctazalt's also able to shake off its own confusion. Going with a Darkest Lariat. It's no Slingshot Lariat, but looking at Arctazalt hit that move as it looks at the sky, taking Ninetales down into the red. Bolton continues to take damage from that burn. Now, Cinnabar Flare is sitting 9th. They've actually slipped outside of the 8 after having an amazing start to this season. So they need to get this win to get back up there. Bolton shakes off its confusion, goes with a Flame Charge. A lot of Fire-type moves being done in this battle. Ninetales, not very effective. But Bolton boosts its speed. Rapidash now shakes off its confusion, so everyone's doing very well to not hit themselves in their confusion. As we get a Metal Claw coming from Rapidash. It targets Arctazalt. Ninetales' turn to try and shake it off. And it doesn't, so Ninetales has hit itself in its confusion. Now it's Arctazalt's attempt. Arctazalt does shake it off. And it's going to go with a Peck. Continuing to target Rapidash, takes it down into the red, but Rapidash is holding on as Bolton continues to take that burn damage. So whilst the Cinnabar Flare is sitting 9th, Lumiose Lightning are sitting 6th. Both teams have records of 5 and 4. Whereas Cinnabar Flare, one of their wins was actually in overtime, so they're 1 point behind Lumiose Lightning on the ladder at the moment. But Magnet Rise coming from Bolton. So Bolton's just made itself immune to ground type attacks thanks to levitating. Rapidash doesn't shake off its confusion, and Rapidash has eliminated itself from this battle. As the first elimination from this match as Ninetales, also confused, does shake off its confusion though. And it will go with a Shell Smash, so it's not actually going for an offensive type move. Instead, it's going to lower its defense and special defense so it can boost all of its other stats. Now, Lumiose Lightning is sitting 6th on the ladder. Both teams are actually coming off a loss last week as well. Some very similar seasons between these two as Arctozolt shakes off its confusion. It goes for a Flower Shield, but it does fail as the sunlight finally fades from the battlefield. And again, Boltund continues with that burn damage, but it's not taking much. The Boltund's standing pretty strong. As Darmanitan comes out for the Cinnabar Flare, we're yet to see Darmanitan in its Zen mode here on Cinnabar Island. So Ninetales snaps out of its confusion. It goes with a Bullet Punch. Does target Boltund. Boltund's still in the green with that not very effective move. Boltund also snapping out of its confusion. It goes with a Wood Hammer. Welcoming Darmanitan to the field. Doesn't do much damage though, not being very effective. And Boltund does get the recoil from that Wood Hammer. Darmanitan now with that amazing 140 attack stat. Goes with a Dragon Dance, so it's actually going to boost it even more than what it already is. There's Darmanitan with the boost. Also boosting its speed in the process. And Arctozolt snaps out of its confusion, so nobody's confused anymore. As we get a Thunder Shock from Arctozolt, it's going to get that stab boost being an electric type. And it will take Ninetales out with that Thunder Shock. Ninetales is eliminated. So that's 2 down now for the Cinnabar Flare as Boltund finally goes into the yellow. Going to have a 4th Pokemon now coming out for the Cinnabar Flare. And it's Arcanine, the #1 ranked Pokemon for the Flare, who's had a very impressive season so far. See if we can repeat that in this game, in this matchup, as it has slowed down as we've come to the midpoint of the season. Flamethrower now coming from Boltund. More Fire-type moves in this battle as it goes for Arcanine. Very minimal damage though. Now Darmanitan, that boosted attack stat, goes with a Dragon Tail, but Boltund avoids the attack. Arcanine now goes with an attack order. Targeting Arctozolt, taking it down into the yellow with that critical hit. Very impressive hit there. Arctozolt has its opportunity to respond and goes with a Volt Tackle. So going for another electric type attack, and it's a huge hit onto Arcanine, taking Arcanine down into the red. Also Arctozolt taking itself into the red with that recoil damage. But still, what a hit onto Arcanine by Arctozolt. Cannot believe that. Boltund now goes with a Fury attack. And it goes for Arcanine, gets 1 hit, gets 2. Only gets 2 hits, so Arcanine is still hanging in this battle. Darmanitan goes with a Sparkling Aria. This is actually going to hit everyone on the field. This will probably take its own teammate out. And it does, and it takes out Arctozolt in the process. So Darmanitan has eliminated its own teammate and Arctozolt in the process. So Lumiose Lightning have lost their first Pokemon. And Boltund is healed of its burn as Magmortar comes out onto the field for the Cinnabar Flare. And we have Dracozolt coming out to replace its fellow fossil Arctozolt, as Dracozolt is hurt by those spikes that have been laying on the field for quite some time now. Boltund now goes with a Rapid Spin. So it's going to get rid of the spikes on the field. A decent hit there on Darmanitan. Gets that critical hit. Very important. And Boltund boosting its speed in the process. Darmanitan now goes with a Dragon Rush. Again with that boosted attack stat. Goes for a Dracozolt. And it's super effective. And a 1-hit wonder. With that said though, it was affected by the spikes. But Dracozolt is eliminated by Darmanitan. Massive hit there. We get a workup now coming from Magmortar. So Magmortar's only looking to boost its own stats here. Raising its attack and special attack stats. It has 125 special attack, so getting that boosted is amazing if Magmortar can capitalize on it. As we have Jolteon come onto the field for the Lumiose Lightning. Now both these teams were sitting undefeated at the top of the ladder earlier in the season. They've both slipped drastically down, being very inconsistent since suffering their first losses in the season as Boltund goes for a mist. So both teams hanging around that midpoint of the ladder at the moment, wanting to get into the top 4 or 5. Cinnabar Flare even just wanting to get back into the top 8 as they're sitting that one spot out Jolteon now goes with a double team, so it's going to boost its evasiveness, making itself harder to hit for the Cinnabar Flare. Magmortar now, with that boosted special attack, see if it can capitalize. Goes with a conversion, however, so it's going to change its typing. Changing its type to normal type. Quite surprising. As always, in our description below, we do have a link to our Instagram page where you can get ladder and fixture updates, as well as our match of the week. Boltund now goes with the Psycho Cut. Targeting Magmortar. Very good hit there on the Magmortar. Darmanitan goes with the Sleep Powder. And it's going to connect. It targets Jolteon, so puts the evolution to sleep. Jolteon's definitely going to need to wake up soon. You can hear it snoring there on the battlefield. Magmortar has that opportunity to capitalize. Goes with an extreme speed. Targets Boltund, and Boltund has been eliminated with an extreme speed, considering Boltund's so fast. And that's now 3 down for both the Lumiose Lightning and the Cinnabar Flare, so we're all tied up here. As Raichu, in its Alolan form, comes out onto the battlefield, so it's an electric psychic type. As Darmanitan now being the quickest Pokemon on the field. And goes with a Peck. Again, it has had that attack stat boosted, but it's still not going to do a great deal of damage to the electric type, being not very effective. Jolteon's still asleep on the field as Raichu has its chance to go for its first attack of the battle. And goes for a Gunk Shot. It's going to target Darmanitan here. And a massive hit, and Darmanitan is eliminated, so we're still not going to see that Zen mode of Darmanitan on Cinnabar Island. Unbelievable hit there by Raichu, I cannot believe that, as we get an Ice Punch coming from Magmortar, targeting Jolteon, taking it down into the yellow. Very strong hit there. As we have another evolution come out onto the field in Flareon. So we have a Flareon and a Jolteon on the field at the moment. Not that Jolteon is aware whatsoever, considering it is still asleep. But all the speed going to the side of the Lumiose Lightning. Raichu sets up with a Fire Fang. More Fire type attacks being done to the Flare. Very ineffective against Flareon. As Magmortar, who is surprisingly quicker than Flareon is, goes with a Bulldoze. This will do massive damage to everyone on the field and takes out Raichu and Jolteon, but Flareon actually held on. It does have its speed low, but I cannot believe it held on there, as Jolteon, completely unaware that Flareon's on the field, being eliminated, and Raichu also being eliminated, which immediately puts Cinnabar Flare in front. Flareon does not want to use Explosion. Thankfully it doesn't. That's very good for the Flare, as the final Pokemon comes out onto the field for the Lumiose Lightning. And it's Luxray. Luxray looking to have a massive impact if it can take down these two, Magmortar and Flareon. It is at a disadvantage, as Magmortar is the quickest Pokemon on the field, surprisingly so. And it's going to go with an Earth Power, another ground type attack. And it's a one-hit wonder. Magmortar was not messing about. It took out the last 3 Pokemon in 2 goes. Unbelievable there by Magmortar, just clearly getting sick of competing, taking out all the competition. Unbelievable. That was a brilliant victory for the Cinnabar Flare. They're going to jump up above Lumiose Lightning on the ladder. That much we know. Where they end up at the end of the round, we'll find out later in the week. But an amazing showing there. Just by Magmortar alone, I couldn't believe it took out half the Lumiose Lightning like that. Unbelievable. So much damage, and not even taking out Flareon. Flareon holding on there. And that is exactly what the Cinnabar Flare need, and they're going to look to repeat that next week when they take on the very dominant Olivine Ore in Olivine City. So Cinnabar Flare will be facing the top team next week. They want to try and repeat this kind of victory if they can. We'll only find out then. I look forward to that. Whereas the Lumiose Lightning, unfortunately, just got dominated right there at the end when they had the advantage. When Magmortar just decided to take out everybody. There's that Bulldoze. Unbelievable hit. But again, Lumiose Lightning next week, they're going to be hosting the Goldenrod Giants. So those two teams should be very close on the ladder, both desperately trying to keep themselves or get into the 8. So I look forward to that matchup as well. Cinnabar Flare challenging the top team, Lumiose Lightning, taking on the Goldenrod Giants. But there, Magmortar, just unbelievable right at the end, finishing off the Lumiose Lightning. But Nidorinos, thank you so much for watching. Let us know in the comments below who you thought was the best on field. And always remember, you are awesome, and I will speak to you next time.